Hi, Year 9. So, if you remember, just before Christmas, I had given you out your self-quizzing booklet and your knowledge organizer booklet, okay? So, it's been a wee while since I've mentioned this, so I just want to remind you the system, okay? So, if you please get out for me your self-quizzing booklet, the thicker of the two, and open it at page 8 for me, please, okay? And then also get your knowledge organizer. So it's the one that is really just one big page folded over, okay? So knowledge organizer, and it's the one that has all the information on it. Now, before we started this space topic, the topic that we were learning was heat. And we've done a little bit of our retrieval and self-quizzing on heat, but we haven't got that far on it. So I don't want us to get too far behind, okay? So if you have your self-quizzing book, your thick one, open at page 8, and then have your knowledge organizer open at the heat page, which is the first page in it, okay? Now, if you remember, there's a bunch of questions in this self-quizzing book, and there's numbers down the side here, and these numbers refer to the knowledge organizer. They tell you where you're going to get the answer to the question, right? So on page 8, and there's instructions written at the top here, there's only 2 questions because one of them has a lot of information in it. What is a convection current? And then this wee number here tells you where you find the answer. So that 12 tells me to look at box 12 on my knowledge organizer. Now, there's an awful lot of information in that box 12. It's not at all. Look within that and find it. So what is a convection current? It says it here. A convection current is the path the particles in the liquid or gas take. That should actually say there, when heated. I'm going to add that in. So when heated. Okay, so you fill that in on your self-quizzing book. Then down here, draw diagrams and describe a convection current. Now, this one's done a little bit differently. I started this off for you just because there was an awful lot of information in it. And if you see here, these diagrams correlate again to that box 12. So the first diagram, and I've written out some bits here but left gaps for you. Second diagram, this information. And then the third diagram down at the bottom there goes along with that. So if you use that and fill in those blanks. So that's the first go through where you use the book to get your answers. Then I need you to spend a little bit of time trying to learn that information off. Now this here, a bunch of us were actually really good at rhyming this off, so some of you may remember it, easy peasy. Might take a wee bit longer for other people. Then, what I need you to do on the next page, so if you look at page 9, okay, try and do this one from memory. So hide your knowledge organizer out of sight. Just have this in front of you. Answer this and fill in the blanks here, and you'll notice there's more blanks in this one, right? Then you can either just open back here because you should have the correct answers here, and then correct these in a different coloured pen, or go back to the knowledge organizer and use that to correct these. Okay, spend a bit of time learning from what you got wrong, and then on page 10 there's a completely blank version for you. So I want you to try and do that from memory as well. Get a different coloured pen, mark it and fill in any corrections. So that's the first thing I need you to do today. Now, if you're doing that properly, that should take 20 minutes at least. So do make sure you're spending the time on that. I'm giving you the time to do that during this lesson, so make sure you do it properly. Okay, so pause the video, go and do that, and then restart it whenever you're done and you're ready to move on. Okay, so once you've got your self-quizzing done, then I want you to open your notes at page 158. Okay, now last lesson before half term we looked at a few videos. Now I really like YouTube videos on this topic because it's actually a really hard thing to just describe, and I'm going to be describing what these words mean, but it's easier to see it in videos. So at the end of this video I will link one of those videos. I really like that wee BuzzFeed one, so I'll probably link that, and I'd say I'll attach the other one as well to the assignment, okay? But as I say, videos are actually a really good way for this. So if you do have time left at the end of the lesson, do watch some more YouTube videos about the universe and the scale of the universe and all the different things that make up the universe, okay? Because it's quite a hard concept for me to just sit here and describe to you like this, okay? So there's an awful lot of words that get mixed up in whenever people are talking about space and the universe, so I just wanted to make some of them a little bit clearer here today. So the first thing I suppose that we need to recognize what it is a solar system. So a solar system is one star and then a bunch of things, generally planets, orbiting around it. Then another term that we need to know is a galaxy. So a galaxy is a collection of stars. It's basically going to be a collection of solar systems. So a collection of stars that all probably have things orbiting around them. Okay, so you've got one star and then around it you have the solar system. Then there's a bunch of those and they're all collected together and that forms a galaxy. But that's not the end of it. There's a bunch of those galaxies and everything all together is the universe. Now, do you see what I mean? It's hard for me just to describe that because I'm not able to show the scale at all, and that is why I like those videos. It's really hard to get your head around the distances that we're talking about here. Oh yeah, it messes with your head a wee bit. So let's look at the notes, right? So 158, remember? So what's beyond our solar system? So our sun is a star, and you're filling this in with me, please, which is just one of many millions of stars which make up the Milky Way. And the Milky Way is what you call the galaxy that we are in. Because remember, a galaxy is a collection of stars. Oh, literally the next sentence. So a galaxy is a collection of stars that have collected together. The Milky Way galaxy is a spiral galaxy and it looks something like this. So there's little bits spiraling out of it. Okay. Now, it's impossible to count every single star, but estimates have put the number of stars in the region of 500,000 million. Again, these numbers are so big that we can't really imagine them properly. I quite like writing this one in a number format, just so we get a little bit of an idea of the size. So 500,000 million. That is a lot of stars. Okay, turn over to 159 for me. You can see here there's a couple of mistakes we're going to have to fix, but first of all, let's answer this. So what's the difference between a solar system and a galaxy? So before I tell you, have a wee think about what that is, and then we will write it in. Okay, so here's how I've worded it. A solar system is one star and the objects that orbit it. So most of those objects will be planets, but some won't. So a solar system is one star and the objects that orbit it. A galaxy is a collection of stars, and then I've put in brackets there solar systems to hopefully make the connection between those two. Okay. Now here's where there's some wee mistakes in the notes. So the nearest star to ours is called Proxima. Now I pronounce everything wrong. Okay. I've always pronounced this Proxima Centauri, but I have heard other people pronounce it Proxima Centauri. I think that's the way Mrs. Turner pronounces it. I'm not sure about Mr. Ross actually. So apologies if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Proxima Centauri. I don't know. But there's a wee A missing from that, so can you correct that for me, please? Now, it does say in your notes and can only be seen with a telescope. But have a think about that. Like at night time, whenever we look in the sky, we can see stars. So just score that out for me, please. That wee sentence has actually been put in the wrong paragraph. Okay, so the nearest star to ours is called Proxima Centauri, just full stop. Now, the nearest galaxy to the Milky Way is called the Andromeda Galaxy. It is really far away. The distance from our sun to the centre of Andromeda is 24, and I'm going to try and say that number. How many zeros do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 18 zeros. So 24 million kilometres away. Now, this is the thing. that can only be seen with a telescope. So can you write that in for me, please? Andromeda can only be seen with a telescope. Whenever we look up into the sky on a nice clear night and we see loads of stars, they are all stars within our galaxy, and they're actually all stars within a very small section of our galaxy. We cannot see with the naked eye any stars from any other galaxies. Okay, so the nearest one to us, we can only be seen with a telescope. So all the ones further away, obviously, definitely as well. Now, scientists think that there are about 70,000 million stars in the universe. Again, a number that is so big that we can't quite comprehend it properly. So, how do they know this? They haven't actually sat and counted them all. There's a little technique that they can use, and it's similar to this. So imagine you are given a book with about 1,000 pages in it, and someone asked you to estimate the number of words in the book. Well, what could you do? Any ideas? You could pick one page in the book, like a standard looking page in the book, count the number of words on that page, and then multiply by 1,000. That's the same technique that scientists have used to estimate the number of stars in the universe. Okay, so I'm going to write this in here. So for the book, you would count the number of words on one page and then multiply by the number of pages in the book, which in this case was 1,000. So if you write that in for me, then that's exactly the same as what the scientists have done. So scientists have used telescopes to look at a strip of the night sky. In that strip, they found about 10,000 galaxies. Then they were able to measure the brightness of each galaxy, and from that they're able to work out how many stars there are in each galaxy. So the brighter a galaxy is, the more stars there's going to be in it. There's more light being emitted. Sorry, where am I? So from this they worked out how many stars were in each galaxy, and then in the whole strip of the sky. Then they multiplied that by the number of strips that it would take to cover the entire sky. So we're going to do a little bit of practice of that technique, right? If you turn over to page 160, you've got this picture here which shows lots of stuff going on, and we're being asked, can we work out the number of galaxies in the picture below? So I'm not asking you to sit and count every wee tiny dot in this, right? We're going to use the same technique. We're going to split this up into equal sized sections, count the galaxies in one section, and then multiply by the number of sections. So I've got my ruler so that I can split it up equally. We're going to look and see 18. I'm going to split this, I think, into 9 boxes, okay? So this is 18 centimetres across. So if I do every 6 centimetres, that'll be split equally. I'm going to do that on the top and the bottom here. And then join those lines up. And that'll be it split into 3 strips. Don't know if my green pen's going to show up here, so that's really why I'm extending it beyond as well. Right. And then I'm going to do the same vertically. Okay, hopefully you can see that, and remember, pause, get yours done as well. But I have split this up into 9 equal-ish sized boxes. So once you've got that done, I need you to pick one of them, count how many galaxies you can see, so you're counting really every single little bit of light in there, and then multiply by 9. Now, underneath the assignment post that you clicked on to get this video, I'm going to post a question, and I'm just going to say in the question, how many galaxies did you count? And all you have to do in there is type in how many galaxies you got for this entire picture. Okay, so I'm interested to see the range in the answers that we get for that. So that is us for today. Make sure you've got your self-quizzing done at the start, and I'm going to link actually here the wee BuzzFeed video to give you a little bit of a visual about all the stuff that we've been talking about again, because we watched that over a week ago now, so you've probably forgotten. Okay, so self-quizzing, get this done, answer the question, and then click on this wee video here and watch that for me. Okay, bye.